What's up, Buddy Fighters? This is the Buddy Fight News Corner, reviving after forever and a half. Lots of stuff happened. Finally got a camera that actually works. Right now, this is my Armorknights that I played at DMV, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
A week ago.
A week ago. It's pretty late, but holidays, didn't have a chance to do it before. So, Buddy Armorknight Iblis, you know, pay gauge, top deck soul. The other effects are if you have 3 or more in soul, gets soul of your item, you get penetrate. 5 or more gets an extra crit. You don't really use it for that effect, you use it because it's a 1 gauge soul guard double attacker. And then for the buddy, obviously, good. It's, you know, double attacker, soul guard. It walls if you need to, and it's a great top deck card. There's not really much to say about Iblis other than Iblis is a great card. There's 2 Omnilords in this deck. The original Crimson Drum, has a very big target on its head as soon as you play it. Everyone wants to get it off the field, or you just start popping everything they have. Honestly, it's not that big of a threat, but everyone wants to get it off the board, so... It's also got 3 crit, which is nice, and Soul Guard, so they have to kill it twice. And the other one, Crimson Drum. Card is amazing because of Battle Spirit Unite. It's a 6/2/6, 2 gauge, top deck soul. When you are attacked, you can pay a life and redirect the attack to itself. It's not a counter, so you can use the effect and then Battle Spirit Unite the Crimson Drum as they're attacking it. It can ruin a lot of people's days, and most of the time when you do that, you're only going to be taking like 3 damage that turn, which is better than what you would have been taking. 3 Archangel, can't be called to the center, no gauge or life call cost. It's a free 2/2/4 double attacker. You have an option to put as many Armorknights on the field as you want into its soul when you call it, and it gets plus 3k for each card in soul, and has soul guard. It's good because of the other card that came out in Buddy All-Stars, Cerberus SD. That's really the only thing you actually want to put into its soul. Everything else is kind of optional. That's all the size 2s. Size 1s. 4 Armorknight Salamander. It's a 6/2/2. Really wish it was a 7/2/1, but take what you can get. So the 6k is pretty relevant, you know, beat over all the size 3s and all of the drums and jackknives. And then 2 crit. 2 crit's always nice. The 2k power doesn't really matter, but there's always those few weak cards that have 1k power that they can't hit that, like Hastened Yamigeto. Rather not have a 0 crit, actually be able to hit something on your field. And for Ogre Ace. Ogre Ace is a great card. It's a 5/3/1 for 1 gauge. It has the Ace effect where if you're 5 life or less, you can shove it into soul and your weapon gets plus 5,000 power. You don't usually use it for that, you use it for a 3 crit. But it's nice to be able to do that. It won me a game against Arc and Seal. I was able to actually beat over it enough times to kill it and take game. The gauge cost is okay, because this deck isn't really focused on cradles, so you don't really need that many gauge costs. 2 Cerberus SD in the main. It's a 2/1/2, size 0, and you can shove it into the soul of another Armorknight in your field. And when that Armorknight swings while it's in the soul, you pay a gauge to pop a monster. Wall decks hate this card. Rush decks hate this card. Pretty much everything hates this. You just swing at their face and start popping their monsters. You put it in a double attacker, you pay 2 gauge to pop 2 monsters. It's ridiculous. And one of my favorite cards, Armorknight Naga. He's also a 2/1/2, and you can counter during your opponent's turn, pay a gauge, and call him, and choose an item on your opponent's field. It gets minus 3,000 power, minus 2 crit, and minus 3,000 defense. This completely ruins all the hero role matchups because they can't rely on their defense for, defense. And it's a great shield because you can call it to the center. Their weapon's not going to swing for anything, and then they have to actually kill it when it's in the center. It's a great card. That's all the monsters in the deck. There's very low monsters in the deck, so yeah. There's one Invig. The one Invig is only because my friend, I knew he was playing Burn Wizards, and I had one more slot left. This saved me one game, but then he just burned me to death the next game, and it was very saddening. So when you have an item equipped, play it, game for life. If you have another copy in the deck, or on the drop zone, it's reduced by 1, but you're only playing 1, so it's not that big of a deal. Only 2 of the draw card. It's pay a gauge and a life, draw a card. If you have an item equipped, draw another card. In this deck, it just got really cloggy. When at 3 or more. 2 is a really good number, because when you don't need to see it, but when you see it, it's really nice. And you don't really want to take up more room than you have to. 3 Battle Spirit Unites, one of the most broken spells in Danger World. Choose a monster on your field. It gets power or defense equal to the power of your weapon. Iblis having 10 or 11k defense. Crimson Drum having 10 or 11k defense. And they can't ever actually swing over your monsters because you'll just beef up the defense and counterattack them. And even if they do, you just armor reuse it back. Shredding Battle Wall. It's essentially a green shield while you have an item equipped, or weapon equipped, but it has to be directed at you. It's an okay card. It's really there just because it's the other shield. Danger World doesn't have many shields right now. I got that, Battle Aura Circle, and Gargoyle, and there's nothing to support the aces in this deck, so there's no point in that. And then the best spell in Armorknights, Armor Reuse. Armor Reuse is great. Pick up any Armorknight from your drop zone. You can grab Naga, you can grab Cerberus SD, you can grab Archangel, you can grab Ogre, you can grab Iblis. Anything you need at the moment, you can grab it. The only thing you can't grab are the drums, sadly. I'd love to be able to pick up a drum. And then for the standard nulls, you kind of have to run at least 6 nulls, or you're just going to die. The 8 nulls give you an option that you can actually stall the game out, which Danger World didn't have that option before. You have to kill them. The last thing is items. 2 of the new one. It's 1 gauge, can't call anything to the center. You can't call anything to the center, it's kind of meh, because you can't use your Naga plays in the center. But other than that, it has the great effect of when it swings, you pop a size 1. For free. Completely destroys rush decks because they'll commit to the board and you'll just pop them for free. And it has a 4/3, so it's hit over some things, and the 3 crit means you're dealing damage with it. And then you have the obvious 4 Cradle because it's a free 5/1. Pay a gauge, put something into the soul, or a weapon from the soul from the drop into its soul. And then when it hits 3 or more, it gets Penetrate. You almost never actually get the Penetrate, and usually it's only a 3 crit or a 4 crit item. They usually blow it up before you get a chance to get it any higher. And then for the 100 Demon Spear. The 100 Demon Spear is great in this deck because you can abuse Cerberus even more. And you'll always have gauge for any plays that you want to do. And once your opponent realizes that you actually need that gauge, they will null the crap out of this item's swings just so you don't get the gauge. Even when they really shouldn't, because the gauge wouldn't help you. But people get scared. That's the whole deck. Very low monster count of like actual monsters. But other than that, I didn't really have any problems. Except for in top 8, I almost won. Except game 3, I didn't see any items, even though I run 10. So at that point I just lost to RNG and I couldn't really help that. So, yeah, that's it. Stay tuned for more deck profiles and hopefully other kinds of videos soon-ish.
Like, comment, subscribe.
That'd be nice.